When I finally gave up on the alcohol after 35 years and stopped focusing so much on myself in my selfish ways, and I gained some clarity on life, I realized that a lot of people are going through the same thing, man. And I wasn't just a special snowflake. The thing is, a lot of us, and I'm sure you can relate to this, people suffer what the Buddhists call the monkey mind, right? That constant chatter in your mind, overwhelming thoughts, overthinking stuff. And they just get constantly bombarded by these thoughts in their head. And this is the thing, man. A lot of people consume vices for the simple fact to quiet down the brain. It's a long day at work. You've been multitasking, you're caught in traffic, and you got to do this, you got to do that, and the mind is just going in all different directions, man. How can you ever in that state of mind find true peace and happiness? And this is the thing, I lived that way, and I had a certain job that required multitasking and to think two or three moves ahead, and it's almost like playing chess, right? Can never focus on what you're doing in the moment because you're always thinking about what has to be done next, right? The power of the present moment, right? Fuck, man, I tell you, like, uh, the constant chatter in the brain, I still suffer with it from time to time. Now I've come to be able to quiet my mind, I think, to a point where I can actually talk about this and actually help another person in transcending this chatter mind, the thing. And a lot of people drink, like I said, to quiet that noise in their head, man. I was actually talking to a friend of mine, and she was saying that, she was having a nap, right? And she's like, I just, my head's just going crazy. Just, I can't stop my mind from thinking stuff, right? And just, I know what it's like, right? And this is what causes anxiety. This is what causes depression. This is what causes all the problems, because all of a sudden your mind is going a mile a minute. And then you start identifying with certain thoughts, and you grab onto a certain thought and you go with it, which leads to another thought, which leads to another thought. And then before you know it, man, it's just, it's crippling. And it's crippling to the point where you have a certain way of living, a certain job that you go to, a certain life, and all we really want is to settle our mind from these overthinking, overanalyzing thoughts. And the way I've done this was, one, through meditation, learning that stilling the mind comes from not trying to control the thoughts, rather than sit back and become the witness and observe the thoughts, like just pass them by like a cloud, right? And don't attach to any. Realize that you're not your thoughts. A lot of people think that they're their thoughts. They're not. Thoughts just come, man. You're an antenna. And people can connect to a higher being, to a higher way of living, when they quiet their mind down. And they learn to listen to what that voice is saying, your consciousness, right? But you'll never hear it because everybody's just too fucking distracted all the time. Put myself in a minimalist way of living. I was in a city for 35 years, chasing the dollar, drinking, partying, you know, going to friggin' clubs, whatever, right? What we do when we party, listening to tunes and getting drunk, and that was fine. That was some of my greatest times of my life were in those moments. But the destruction I left behind was nothing to be very grateful for. Nothing to really, you know, say that I amounted to anything. And the thing is, that party life, man, unless you're a rock star, you're gonna have a difficult time navigating through this world. And for some, hey, to each their own, right? But like I said, this constant chatter in the brain is what we all seek to quiet. And this is why I got into spirituality. And I learned about just understanding that if I just observe the thoughts and let them go, observe the thoughts and let them go, don't attach to anything, quiet the mind down, you start to be able to carve a path of your choosing rather than being a victim to all these external thoughts. Now, what else did I do besides meditation? Well, you stare at a candle. Believe it or not, man, the power of looking at a flame, that's why having a bonfire is nice. People can kind of relax and be tranquil in front of a fire. As simple as a candle, man. Look at a candle. If your mind is going a mile a minute, focus on the candle for fucking 15 minutes, man. You'll quiet your mind down like you wouldn't believe. People usually zone out and they drink and they watch tube and whatever it is to distract them from the fucking montage of thoughts that's going on in their head. And that's the exact opposite way of doing it, because all you're doing is creating more thoughts to think about, more stimuli, more information. This is what we don't want. I've had to turn my phone off for a week straight. No phone, no music, no TV, no YouTube, nothing. And just got away from the phone, got away from social media, and just that alone, fasting from the EMFs coming from these phones, the electric or the electromagnetic frequency that it's given off, is bombarded with 5G, frying your brain. Get out into nature and just sit, man, and quiet your brain and use earplugs if you have to, man. This is it, man. This is where true peace comes from, is from stilling the mind, becoming empty of all your thoughts, and then letting life flow through you as an empty vessel. And eventually you'll gain wisdom, and your consciousness will tell you what you need to do next and what your next move is going to be, because your mind is so limited. It can only do certain things. It can't figure it out, man. It's ego-based, right? It's an illusion. It thinks it's helping you, but it's not, right? And this is it, man. I mean, these are just some pointers. Something that I've had to go through, something that I continue to work on. And if this video helped any of you guys, I'll do some more.